Hi, students. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So this is to tell you that most of your top influencers, white female influencers, are all rate deceased because all their videos has been surfacing, tweets surfacing, and the fact that her audacity to also want to trademark a racist word left everybody asking what the hell is wrong with these people. Now you made a racist comment, right? Or you tweeted that, and now you are thinking of trademarking it. Are you people just okay? So now this is been about 3 weeks, right? What her tweets surfaced online, and she did not address it. She did not make any video, and this is like almost 3 or to almost a month this happened. She decided to make a write-up on her story on Instagram saying that she was young when that happened. And one thing with some people is that when some certain things happen, you see them always, you guys can't forgive her because she was young and didn't know anything. See, you can be young and at the same time have brains, because you cannot be young and at the same time not have brain. And also, I am tired of people, especially these people, coming out to accept other people's apology. The apology was not for you. So why would you come out and say, oh, you all should let it slide? Let the people that it is affecting talk. Let's get into
Do they like black people? Another N-word scandal, this time featuring allegedly content creator Alex Earl. Now, Alex Earl is a huge content creator on TikTok. She's at 7.1 million and 3.8 million on Instagram, a huge creator, y'all. And she's in a little bit of controversy right now because in 2014, allegedly, she had these tweets or these posts on Ask FM rather, where she was saying the N-word. And now she's in even more controversy because allegedly, if you repost those old posts where she was allegedly saying the N-word, her lawyers are sending letters saying, take it down. You can't talk about that because we have trademarked those posts using the N-word on behalf of our client. Trademarking the N-word, please take a look at this video and it'll explain more.
Alex Earl had her lawyers email us. I have to say it. I can't keep it in. It is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. They emailed us, first of all, thinking that we have any control or association with our subreddit, even though it is stated multiple times on every single post that we have no affiliation with that. We don't moderate it. Yeah. We don't have any access to it. And either way, her lawyer contacted us and said that we have violated their copyright. Oh, no. We have violated like a dozen laws, according to this email, including like money laundering or something. Like it's Janet level, like you're gonna go to jail for years. Yeah, like, but it was wondering why this would even happen, because we haven't spoken about Alex Earl in a while. It's because someone posted on our subreddit on the heels of the Brooke Schofield stuff. Well, Alex Earl apparently has her fair share of a racist past with using the N-word a lot on her Ask FM. And so people posted screenshots of that in our subreddit. And her lawyer said that they have a trademark to that, which is like, you trademarked her racist Ask FM things? Like, literally, I was like,
here are my thoughts. Do I think these two received a letter from someone purporting to be Alex Earl's attorney saying that they trademarked her slur? Yes. Do I think that those people were actually Alex Earl's attorneys? Probably not, right? I mean, number one, think about it. Why would you want to tie your client to using a racial slur? If you try to trademark that racial slur, then it is forever tied to your client. Your client owns that statement, not just the racial slur, but the entire statement, right? Whatever she said, preceding that racial slur and accurate. So whatever statement she made, that would be tied to your client forever. And I don't understand why you'd want to do that. Number two, that's not really how trademarks work. Number three, I guess you could probably try to trademark the phrase or whatever phrase she used, which included the N-word, and just to say that you have that application pending so that you can stop other people from using or reposting those Ask FM posts, for example. Sometimes attorneys will do that. They might file for this trademark that they know doesn't really have a strong chance of going through, but they're still trying to prevent you from using whatever it is in the meantime. So that could happen here. I think it's unlikely. Furthermore, I don't see why you would send the letter to these two podcasters when they've said clearly that they have no association with that subreddit. It's clearly written on the subreddit that they have no association with it. Probably the subreddit was just started by some fans. So to send that letter to these individuals instead of trying to get that subreddit taken down itself or separately, again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a legal professional to do, particularly when, again, they're not associated with the subreddit. An even more pressing question I've had on my mind is, why does everyone's favorite non-black influencer have some sort of N-word scandal in 2014 and beyond or after? I don't know.
So I just wanted to make a video on this because I have been seeing the varying sound bites of people talking about white creators coming onto the app, getting wildly and insanely popular, and then a few years down the line, it comes out that they said the N-word when they were like 13 or 14, and I have thought. So one of the pervading things in every single apology is that they were 13 and they didn't know, and all of these excuses, really. So I'm from Mississippi. I'm born and raised, grew up in Mississippi, surrounded by kids who were white. And I think that the apology of like, I was 13, I didn't know, is just so overplayed, because growing up in Mississippi, these kids in fact do know. Like, they are constantly aware, just as much as we are aware that we live in a world that racism it exists. We are aware of it. And in a way, and it could be just because I'm from the South, I do think there is an element of awareness that white kids have, that they understand it to some degree. I remember being 14 and my friend and I were talking to these kids in our English class, and we were 14 or 15 years old. And I remember we were talking about dating, and both kids literally were like, we can't date black girls until our grandparents die. And we were like, that's an interesting thing to say. And we were like, you mean like, and then they were like, yeah, our grandparents are like technically racist. And so we understand that we can't date anyone that is not white until our grandparents are dead. And then on the other end, you have kids who are aware of black culture, the music, and all of these different things, that I find it really hard to believe that you just didn't know, and you're blaming your youth and your lack of awareness and knowledge on the fact that you were 13 or 14, which at 13 or 14 years old, you're a conscious being who can understand things. Like, you being a teenager, yeah, we make stupid decisions, but there's a difference between them. There's cognizance there, like, you understand. And this is exactly why I've never quite gotten the argument that we can't teach kids about racism, because they just don't understand, when a lot of the times, especially for black and brown youth, we're experiencing elements of racism and anti-blackness from the kids who are our peers. So if we are able to experience it from kids who are the same age as us, like one of the first times I experienced racism was in my 5th grade class with another 10-year-old child. And so it's like we have these ideas that white children are just somehow innocent of the ways in which they can be kind of the bearers of racism, that obviously can be an effect of their upbringing and conversations they are hearing as children and growing up. But those are elements that we can't just pretend are not happening, because it's affecting other black and brown kids. And so that's why I think the argument of I was just a child doesn't necessarily correlate, because we have all been children, and most of us didn't grow up perpetuating racist stereotypes and ideals and ideologies that made other children feel physically unsafe.
Now, Alex, girl, why would you wait 3 whole weeks to try and address this situation? And she made sure to address it in text and not in video, because she know that we would have saw right through them white tears. Right through them. She's, again, that was long ago. I was raised racist. My parents were racist. My grandparents were racist. There is no excuse. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, my girl Nene, she did the impression best. Please go check her video out and talk your shit, Nay. Her impression of the stereotypical stale white girl tears after they get caught being racist apology that they always give, which is usually that was when I was a kid. Y'all knew that wasn't right to do when you were a kid, when you did it. And now that you've gotten to where you want to be, you want us to look past all this shit again. Now, I know you thought that this was a heartfelt apology, but baby, we accept apologies and checks. You waited 3 weeks later, which already takes away, it completely cuts out the genuinity. Because in what way, world, universe, could it possibly take you 3 weeks to issue an apology for what you committed? And then on top of that, like what you did to a subgroup of humans that did nothing to you. And on top of that, you started off with making excuses, and reminding us that happened when you were 13 years old. Baby, let me help you out. We saw the date. We didn't need to be reminded how old you was. We did the math on our own. We didn't need that. That is no excuse for using the word in any context or at any age. We also know that, which is why you're being held to the flame. Stop repeating shit that we already said, that we already told. We told you that. Like, what? You spent 3 weeks pondering on your marketing team, your PR team spent 3 weeks, and this is what the fuck they came up with. Girl, fire them and hire at least one black person to be on your team. Because when I tell you they hung your ass out to dry, that absolutely is not the way I speak or what I stand for. It is, but okay. Still her man or her money, and watch her whip out old faithful so fast. Watch how quickly she call you a nigga. That's deep south. That's deep-rooted hatred. When they add that R-A on the back, the nigga, oh my God. Still her man and her money, and watch that shit slip out her mouth. I am deeply sorry. We're good, babe. Honestly, if it took you this long to give the apology, it's because you didn't want to give it. You didn't think that you were wrong, and you were also scheming and plotting and scheming and plotting behind the scenes with your lawyer. You trademarked it, which, by the way, if you sign a contract with a company, they could still sue you for creating a harmful work environment. They can also still, turn that information over to the FBI. If caught doing anything racist again, they could still very much sue you, and they could subpoena the information about this in that case. So while you may have trademarked it, you can't sue the government if you get sued and they subpoena those tweets. You see how that isn't like a full-on fix? When all you had to do from the jump is just apologize, but instead you took us all the way around the world and back again. But I mean, hey, to be white in 2024, you know what I mean? It's like, I wasn't sure how to handle it. Oh, for 3 weeks you weren't sure how to handle it? Damn. My sis took a sabbatical to figure out how to apologize. Girl, just say you ain't think that you was wrong. You and all your homegirls was doing it back in the day. It seemed like it was cool because you felt like you would never be held accountable for your actions. And what's the problem? You heard your family members casually dropping it on Thanksgiving, Easter, hell, even at the gas station, at the quick trip up the street. You thought it was normal because of the background that you grew up in. And I'm going to let you know something very, very blatantly clear to people of color. We get the same speech. We get the same shit over and over and over again. I mean, y'all the same people in high school after we literally watched y'all in middle school drop the N-word like it was literally Skittles. Like you was tasting the rainbow. You know what I mean? Y'all would drop it so often in middle school. By the time y'all got to high school, you meeting other people in the town and you lying, telling them that you're not racist and that your granddaddy was racist and he got Confederate flags and a trophy case. But not me though. I'm not like that though. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a whole aesthetic for people like you, and you fit right into that cookie cutter image. Here's the thing. We know that you don't care. You could have kept this. You and your Instagram feed could have kept this, and your stories, and just move on. And yes, for those of y'all that don't know, Larsa Pippen, her company was working with, Alex Earl. So good luck if she sues you. She has a pretty good case because you just admitted to it and you apologize. Ha! Also, she's parted ways with this company. So if anybody that purchased anything and felt Like they were damaged mentally, emotionally, psychologically while you were working with Larsa Pippen under whatever campaign, and they felt like, you know what, this may be racially motivated, they can sue you and they can still subpoena that shit. Checkmate, bitch.
Miss Alex Earl has issued an apology on IG. Let's read. A couple of weeks ago, screenshots surfaced of my old Ask FM account showing me using the slur in the summer of 2014. I am taking full accountability, and I want to make it clear I was 13 years old and I did not understand the deeply offensive meaning behind that word. This is no excuse of using that word in any context, at any age. This is absolutely, it's not the way I speak it when I stand for. I am deeply sorry that the words I have hurt many people and have led people to believe that I am any prejudice in my heart. I promise that you could not be further from the truth. My platform has always focused on positivity, entertaining and uplifting others, and will continue to do so. I am sincerely sorry to those that I have offended. Wait, there's more. I regret how I handled this situation, allowing too many people to talk to me out of saying something for too long. I wasn't sure how to handle it, and unfortunately the advice I was given, although well-intended, was wrong. There is no one to blame but myself, and I'm standing my ground and going with my gut to speak outright of what. Girl's been like 3 weeks. Shut the fuck up. In absence of my addressing this, my silence allowed others to fill the void with rumors that simply aren't true. Like you bullying POCs, I don't think that's not a lie. One rumor in particular is I tried to trademark my old post, which is absolutely ridiculous and untrue. Who sent the cease and desist letters? Another is that my brand announced they are no longer working with me. We know we're not gonna let the white girl go. Come on, you a money bank. Even though we have never been in conversation with them about partnership in any capacity. Regardless of what's being said online, I wanted to come here and address the facts and most importantly apologize. I'm sorry, that's how it would have been read if she was online. Apology not accepted. You took too fucking long. Y'all miss
A story apology post after almost a month of silence and trying to ignore your racist past. Girl, I fear you could have kept that, because here's the thing, I'm not buying it. Here's my opinion of the process of events, okay? Again, remember, this is my opinion. If you don't agree with it, I really don't care. She went with option A, which was ignore it. It's worked in the past. She's done it before. Just ignore it. Eventually, it'll go away. Eventually, she saw after almost a month, it was not going away. Then we go to option B, allegedly trying to trademark the racist post. Again, allegedly, she said she didn't do it. However, I saw someone post, and I'll try to find it and tag her. There is a pending trademark application in Alex Earl's name. Is it the racist post? I have no idea. However, there is one. But any judge with 2 working brain cells and isn't a loser like Jennifer Lynn Lopez, that's not holding up in court. You can't trademark. Trying to trademark your racist past is fucking crazy. People knew that that would never hold up in court and saw it for exactly what it was, a scare tactic. So they started calling out for that. The problem went from bad to worse. Then we arrive at our final destination, option 3, an apology. Apology because it was no accountability in that post. Used exactly what all of her supporters have been using, which was she was young. I'm sorry, being young does not excuse you from being racist. And then the whole part about, I wanted to speak about it earlier, but I was listening to the people around me who told me to talk about it. I'm going to assume, for the most part, that was heavily swayed by your parents. The same parents who either 1, taught you the racist stuff, or 2, didn't teach you to not be racist, right? So you're going to listen to those people on how to handle the resurfacing of your racist past. You thought those were the people that you should listen to? In conclusion, to be completely honest, I feel like if option A or B would have worked, right? If it would have blown over after a little bit of time, or if the trademark character actually would have worked, we would have never gotten the apology. It's giving white women scared, it's giving white women tears, and I am not buying it. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Quack, 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 quack. Breaking news. Alex Earl has posted an apology on IG stories. I haven't fully read it. I just took a screenshot so that we can read it together. A couple of weeks ago, screenshots surfaced from my old ask.fm account showing me using a slur in the summer of 2014. I am taking accountability and want to make it clear that I was 13 years old and did not understand the deeply offensive meaning behind that word. That is no excuse for using that word in any context or at any age. That absolutely is not the way I speak or what I stand for. I am deeply sorry that my words have hurt many and have led people to believe that I have any prejudice in my heart. I promise you that could not be further from the truth. My platform has always focused on positivity, entertainment, and uplifting others, and will continue to do so. I am sincerely sorry to those I have offended. I regret how I handled the situation, allowing too many people to talk me out of saying something for too long. I wasn't sure how to handle it, and unfortunately, the advice I was given, although well-intended, was wrong. There is no one to blame but myself for not standing my ground and going with my gut to speak out right anyway. In the absence of my addressing this, my silence allowed others to fill the void with rumors that simply aren't true. One rumor in particular is that I tried to trademark my old post, which is absolutely ridiculous and untrue. Another is that a brand announced they are no longer working with me, even though we have never been in conversations with them about a partnership in any capacity. Regardless of what's being said online, I wanted to come on here to address the facts and, most importantly, apologize. Do we accept it? No! So let's break it down a little bit. So she's taking accountability. I want to make it clear I was 13 years old and did not understand the offensive meaning behind that word. I actually don't know what specific word she's talking about. However, I feel like if 13-year-old black kids understand what you were saying, that we can't keep using the I was young trope. You know, we can't keep using that. All right? Let me see. Oops, I was trying to move myself. I regretted how I handled this situation, allowing too many people to talk me out of saying something for too long. I don't know. It kind of sounds like you're blaming your teen when you are a full ass adult. I don't know. I wasn't sure how to, unfortunately, the advice I was given, although well-intended, there is no one to blame but myself for not standing my ground and going with my gut to speak right away. So the whole thing is you did not trademark your posts, but notice how she didn't mention that she didn't copyright it. So let's say trademark is incorrect. You copyrighted the post because that podcast received a thing from your legal team saying that there's copyright. So you were very smart to say trademark. It's actually copyright. Matter of fact, I'm high-key scared that she copyrighted this apology and she might try to come at me, but let's see. Which is after another brand, whatever. Regardless of what, I wanted to come here and address the facts and most importantly, apologize. Alexa, play Too Little Too Late by JoJo. It's just a little too late, a little too rude, and I can't wait. You know all the right things to say. You know it's just a little too late. It's too late, girl. Too late. All right? And that's the problem that your legal team didn't think about. Because, again, this is the Streisand effect. You trying to legally, find a loophole to where you can stop people from talking about it only made people talk about it more. You know it's just too little too late. Girly. Please. She was never on my FYP, so I'm not really missing anything. Really, the only time her name came up was when people like Fanita and other influencers tried to hold themselves up to Alex Earl. Again, y'all could, black influencers or anyone, you cannot be Alex Earl. Because Alex Earl was Alex Earl before she was Alex Earl, the influencer. She has money. The fact that she was able to copyright and have the legal team contact that podcast about a Reddit post. And the thing was, the Brooke Sheffield thing was already dying down. You were literally just this close to move the fuck on. But no, your legal team royally fucked up. But at the end of the day, we know who this apology is for. Like I said, you can always tell who the apology is for based on who accepts it. So I'm sure we're going to see people in my comments basically saying, oh my God, she was so young. She was young. Oh my God, she apologized already. You know, it's just too little too late. I'm not missing out on anything. My crew is not missing out on anything. So my crew, pack your bags. Let's go.
So this is all I got from this video, and all I can ask is, why would somebody trademark a racism word? This is to tell you how these people want to make so much money off Black people, because they feel like we are, how do I say that, products, right? Please don't feel bad if I use that word, but that is how they feel about us, right? You said, or the tweets you made years back surfaced online, right? And while it is up everywhere, a lot of people were talking about it, and she did not say anything. Not until after 3 weeks or almost 1 month, right? She decided to come out. She did not make any video. She just posted an apology letter on Instagram, saying that maybe my words may have hurt people and all that she was young. It is the lack of accountability in some people and taking responsibility for most of the things they do. I mean, now they are trying to blame it on being young. You can be young and at the same time not naive and silly, because how do you see? One thing I have noticed about most of them influencers is that all of them have rate disease past first back, and the truth is that they keep surfacing. It's more like some of them I don't know if they are using it to but tweets they made long ago, and they know the kind of life they live. They started they are now in people's faces. They have never thought for a day let me go back and remove some of those crazy things I said about Black people, because to them they think that people will not find it, knowing fully well that when you are in public eyes, you are just in public eyes. So since then, they never even they never removed anything to this very moment. She did what she did, and now they are trying to trademark the rate disease word she used so that she can make money. It is the audacity. Audacity of some people's audacity is on another level, and she is one of them. Sincerely speaking, it's just like one of the ladies that stitched the video said that some of them know how rate disease their grandparents or their parents are. Like the story she told about one of her students. One of her students saying that they would never have anything to do with a Black girl. Why? Because the grandfather would. This is to tell you how some of them pass most of all this to their children without even knowing it or fully knowing it. And them also already have seen how their parents or their grandparents decided to also go with the flow, and all that. All of that, not even all of a sudden, become so anti-Black in the sense that they only want to benefit from Black people, but they cannot just take, just nothing good. It's really ridiculous, and also becoming like a trend among the majority of them. This is to tell you that all this, you see them out here online, probably sometimes trying to speak for Black people or trying to say something. It's just eye service. When they are done, they go back to the real person they have always been. And all that. And this is also the person that a lot of Black content creators look up to. Or sometimes you see them compare Alex Earl and all that. I know that there was a story I heard sometimes that they pay them way, way, way better than Black content creators. Why? Because of their distance. But this is not somebody people should. You should be ML. I don't know, but look, they are not worth being a role model, because what are you gonna learn from far? See you all in my next video. Bye for now.